So last time when I came on here, I think there was Taryn wanted to talk about UK launch, and then she dropped off because of some electricity healer came into the house and the electricity went off mysteriously for an hour, and then she came back. And while she was away, we talked about you guys doing presentation. But maybe, Liz, did you get the presentation already from Taryn? No? No? Okay, no presentation. No? No.
Not yet.
Did you? Not yet. Did you prepare any presentation at all? Like for you, like thinking about it, planning?
Yeah, we've done lots of planning, well, sort of planning, and then tomorrow we've dedicated the day to do some planning. So we've been working with a website guy this week and a video guy. We're going to do a little promo video as well. And that's where we're at with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, like the call this morning changes how we are going to do a presentation. So we're going to now just be aiming for the entrepreneurs and the biohackers and the wellness coaches and the network marketers. We're going to completely switch it up and lead it into this pre-launch, like capitalize on that for sure.
Awesome. See, now Taryn just shared the presentation slides.
Okay.
And graphics just now. So look, that's actually that's so valuable because Taryn is creating amazing presentations with the colors. It's very appealing to, let's say, 85% of the people. You don't need to follow this presentation exactly. As you just said, Liz, you can tailor make it the way you feel it's best for your people, right? And if you want to add a slide or take a slide out, if you want to add notes or take notes out, that's completely up to you. We, to the time when we started, decided, okay, the company presentation is not 100% what we want to present. Therefore, Taryn started creating her own presentations. And we learned every time we did them, and we pivoted and added a little bit and took something out, and then we eventually made it shorter. And now we can even, probably you have all seen one of the presentations under 30 minutes. So it's very much to the point, you know, a lot about product, and then about the business later. But we can also combine the product and the business. But again, guys, I think it's very important that you guys figure that out for yourself, what is most aligned with the people you talk to. Because I have a lot of people that just, they have no idea about the business, and I will not talk about the business if they want to know about the product, right? So that's a cool way to start learning. And I think really it would be amazing if we can start doing presentations like that. All of you guys, whoever team you belong with your team, start one weekly small webinar or big webinar, hopefully, for your prospects at least once a week. And then also get used to jump on a call with your team to train, you know, to have Q&A with your team, you know, ask them where they're struggling, ask them where they're doing extremely well, what works for them, what didn't work for them, and then have this Q&A so that we guys can get together more often. I think it's also a cool idea if it somehow works for us, for Taryn, me, or Leah, to jump in the calls, you know, new question answer, and then just be there with you guys. And I would love to do that, but we can somehow try to arrange that. But I think the consistency is the key here, to really come out and start doing these presentations. And then have you guys, you know, say, okay, I'm going to invite at least 2 people, and you should invite at least 2 people or 3 or whatever, and just so the flow can start. And even if it's just 1 or 2 new prospects per week, you know, it's already making a difference, because every person here can make a huge difference, right? So I think from next week on, or from the next call we have, after you looked at the presentation, we should seriously start talking about it. And I think it's also a good idea, even before we meet again, that you guys run a presentation in your team. You know, just get used to it. Think about, okay, for you, Liz, and your team, think about who wants to talk about what. You know, switch it up a little bit. Bring in people to share their testimonial, because every time somebody comes into the presentation and shares a testimonial, it first of all engages a leader, and they have to step up and talk about something. Then they feel good about it, and eventually maybe they want to take over and do their own presentation. This is how we, you know, get people used to be engaged in presentations and show up and show their face and step up, because if they're talking to people, it makes them feel good as well, right? And they start taking responsibility. So you want to engage as many people as possible. and you want to create this effect that you start now your presentations, and then later on your teams will start their presentations, and you just lead, you know, to have them lead eventually as well. But today I really want to talk one more time about building with you guys, about starting the business, about what to do, about the right intention, about the right energy, about the right excitement, and all the things what I've learned now through my Healy experience, where I had a lot of mistakes already done, but I've learned from these mistakes and I've done them. I do it better now, and I would like you to not do the same mistakes, which it still worked out very fine, but I also used a lot of energy of mine into the wrong direction, which I think can be avoided by knowing from the beginning what we should do and what we should not do. And so again, I want to go back into reminding you guys that we are not in a direct sale company, and we are not selling at all, actually, and we are not convincing. And what I love to say is we replace those words, selling and convincing, with sharing and inviting, because this is all we do. And when I first started 1.5 years ago, I had this amazing frequency device, which sounded so beautiful and incredible. Something, you know, have a frequency for everything, which is helping to improve everybody and anything, because everything is frequency, and frequency is everywhere, and energy is everything. And now a guy like me comes in and talks about quantum physics and try to sell something. You know, it wasn't easy, because obviously to this time we also didn't have the resources we have today, like all the YouTube channels, the amazing videos, the Facebook groups, and even from the company more research. To this time, it was just the Healy and me, basically, and a few people around the globe using that device. And I was trying to convince people that this technology is the best technology on the planet, and it's amazing, and I was trying to sell it, right? And as you can imagine, when you go out and try to sell something, people, you know, especially now since we're using Healy and we are in the energy business, energy is what we feel. It's what you feel. And if somebody has the intention of selling something to you, this is what you feel. You will feel that person actually speaks to you because he wants to make money. And that was also my intention. I wanted to create a big business. I wanted to make a lot of money. So I wanted to sell as many Healys as possible. And oftentimes I ended up in convincing people, you know, telling them about the amazing benefits of these frequencies, of what it can do, where it can go, coming up with visions. And it's not easy. It was not easy. Of course it worked, because I am kind of a salesperson, I would say. You know, I can speak and I can talk and come up with a lot of stuff. It just comes, you know. But it's not for everybody. And the amazing and the good news is we don't need to speak. We don't actually need all these nonsense, blah, blah, blah. We don't need it now anymore. It's over. We don't need to sell, and we don't need to convince. Because when I went out there and sell it, the people really literally could feel it. They could feel like, this guy is talking to me because he wants to make a business. This guy is talking to me because he wants to make money. Well, after the point when I successfully still made some money and sold the devices to a few people, the ripple effect started, right? And what happened when the ripple effect started? Today, we see tens of thousands of people having these amazing benefits of Healy, right? It changed lives. It helped people. It supported them in any way possible. It's absolutely amazing. And when I realized this, what is actually happening to these people, I understood, like, hey, if it's helping so many of thousands of people, it will help another 10 or 100 or 1 million people. And this is where the intention needs to come from. The intention, what we have to have, needs to be pure and solely on sharing something which has helped so many thousands of people, because we know it will help even more people, right? So when we have that intention of really sincerely helping people, no objection can ever harm us. There is no way you're going to be blocked by an objection. If you know your intention is pure, comes from a heart-centered space, and you just solely want to share something to that person because you believe sincerely it will help that person. It's a huge difference. It's a huge, huge difference. And when I understood that, this is where my business started flourishing like crazy. There was no more stopping. Because once again, what holds you back from business is frustration, desperation. You know, oftentimes trying to sell a device, which I did, that person, you know, had an objection, rejected my offer and said, like, no, I'm not interested. You know, I don't like network marketing. I don't like this business. This is not working. I don't know this, whatever. There's something, right? What happened to me was I was devastated. Now with this devastation became for me another motivation to go even more aggressive into the next person. It's like, you gotta join this one, right? Now I came from a place of desperation. Guess what? That person felt it. So like, it's not interesting for a person to feel you are desperate, you are needy and want to buy something. It's not happening. So if you actually come into this intention and you come from a pure space, from a heart space of sharing something sincerely with people, because you know it helps so many people, the person, even if you have an objection, even if he says no, it's for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much. I was trying to help. And an objection just can't harm you anymore. And that's like from the space of intention, it's so powerful. It brings you in a so powerful position that you just don't get out of, you know, from your course. It's not affecting you anymore. If you think about it honestly, like if you want to help somebody and that person doesn't accept your help, there's no way you need to be upset about. There's no way you need to be upset about, right? So this is the number one really most important thing to start the business, to you know, share Healy as much as possible, is our intention have to be pure, and we solely want to help and support people, or we want to invite them to an amazing opportunity. I want to show you a picture, and I'm not sure, I think I showed it to you last time already, but this is really my favorite picture, and I'm not sure if I showed it to you guys, but I want to share my content. And it's about when you start your business. Can you see my screen? I think you can. I don't hear you. If you don't, you just say something. If yes, just don't say anything. This is what I love. I love this picture. When we think about building our business, it's really thinking about, we want to find our tribe. We want to build our tribe. So just imagine you're one of these lions. Your question needs to come up, who are the lion next to you? Because what we're essentially doing is we building a business, we're starting a company on your own. And what do you do when you have a company? You want to look for the right people. If you're the president of your own company, think about who should be your CEO. You know, who should be the executive master next to you, building the business with you? Who should be your CFO? Who's the guy talented with finances, analytic, strategy? Who's your CMO, your marketing, social media marketing expert? Who's your therapist who's giving credibility to your mission? You know, who are these people next to you? And actually, when I see this picture, this is how I want my picture, my company to be. This is how I want my business to be. I want to find like-minded people and a tribe. And when I go back to the old network marketing model, where, you know, we learn it from textbooks or whatever, it's like, make a list out of all the contacts you have, everybody you know. You know, it's just maybe you come up with 1,000 people possibly. I like the idea. It's actually quite effective, because you have a lot of leads, you have a lot of people to contact. But it goes a little bit against our philosophy of teamwork and reminding us that we are not a direct sale company. So what I learned and what I like as an approach is just come up with the 10 people you are most resonating with Healy. You know, that can be people who need the support of the frequencies. There can be people who are into biohacking and want to go, you know, the extra edge, the extra 10%, the extra 1%, recover faster, whatever it is. It can be anybody who can use the Healy. And come up with a list of 10 people who are most influential in your network. And these are your lions. Like, who's the person you know who is very, very good in social media marketing? Who's the person who you know who's complementing you in any way possible that you are not? You know, maybe you're an introvert who's the extrovert who can talk to people, or the other way around, you're an extrovert and you're chaotic. Who's that person who's very structured, stable, grounded, and organized? You know, this is the way you need to think if you think about growing your business. And I'll make you an example. My so-called partner in Thailand, she's amazing. Her name is La. She has nothing to do with network marketing ever. She's the last person on earth you would believe who could do network marketing. She's actually a nerd. You know, she's an introvert. She can be very annoying. She's very smart though. She's an engineer. She's a consultant for blockchain. She's absolutely everything what I'm not. You know, she's extremely intelligent. And it happens to be that she's complementing my skill set perfectly. And today, even though she had nothing to do with network marketing, she's holding the biggest organization in Thailand and sold over 5,000 Healys into Thailand. by yourself. No, not by yourself directly, but with her team. And why I'm saying that is, first of all, never underestimate anybody. Second of all, it is so beautiful to see that we are in a business where everybody can just live his genius, you know, and we don't need to be network, so-called, you know, cliche network marketer and go out and speak and talk and whatsoever. But when we find the right people we team up with, everything is possible. And that really showed me, while I met her, right? It showed me so much and let me learn so much about who do I want to be in my business or want to have in my business. So, of course, on the side, why my learnings from this one was my energy went left and right in all directions, trying to increase and you know, build the biggest organization in Healy, go out and find as many people as possible. But if I would have known to just focus on the right people, I would have saved a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I would have probably had an even bigger organization by now. So the intention there is, when you find, you know, you either you have people you want to help, you know, and share the Healy because you believe and you know and you're convinced and you're very certain, you're 110% certain this device is good for so many people and so many more people. So you go out and share this message with as many as people as possible. And the other intention you also should have for your business is you want to partner with people. You want to give people the opportunity to be on your side, in your tribe, to start an amazing business journey together with you, right? It's a different intention than going to that person and say like, hey, come on, buy a Healy, you know, and you have a business opportunity there, instead of going to them, hey, join me, next to me, let's build this together, you know. And if you have that intention, you will see what will happen, because suddenly these people can pop up where you feel like, wow, they could actually contribute to my business. If it's a therapist, if it's a social media marketing expert, whoever, never underestimate anybody. And with that, with these 20 people, eventually, maybe more, maybe less, you can really start a successful business. For me, I actually now approach 80,000 people in my organization, and I have 35 direct signups, you know, 35 direct signups. And it's remarkable. And the reason why is, first of all, I don't want to sign up anybody directly anymore. And second of all, we are not in a direct sale business. We building deep, and we have a binary system which allows us to connect to potentially millions of people in our organization without even being directly connected to that person. And by knowing and understanding that, and also being convinced and believe that Healy is here for the long time, I started building long term. And for me, more important to when I build long term is to make long term people and teams happy and independent operating, instead of having a short term idea of success and giving a lot of direct bonus to me and not building long term teams. I'll make you an example. I had a girl in Bali who I met. Her name was Diana, and she's amazing. She's German. And she got completely fascinated about Healy, and she said, "I want to start. I want to do what you guys doing. I love this product." So she was about to sign up, and she lived in Zurich. She came I met her in Bali, but her home was Zurich. And I had a team, or I still have a team in Zurich. Her name is Karen and Tobias. Amazing, beautiful people, good friends of mine that just started with Healy. They love Healy. You know, they're also very inexperienced in what they do and how they do it. So what I did now is, I was talking to Diana and said like, hey, I know people in Zurich, you know, they are amazing. They know what they're doing. They're incredible people. They're very heart-centered. They know about energy. They're all in for Healy. They love this product. You should talk to them, you know. Now, I let Karen and Diana, the girl I met in Bali, connect on the phone with me. You know, of course, I was promoting Karen like crazy. I was like saying, Karen is so good. Karen is doing this. Karen is heart-centered, which she really is. I'm not lying about that. You know, she's amazing. And the same thing I said for Karen. I said, Karen, there's a girl. Her name is Diana. She's from Bali. I met her in Bali, but she comes back to Zurich and she wants to start with Healy. Would you be able to take care of her? Now, what happened to Karen? Karen, of course, she said like, wow, this is amazing. You give me a person, I can sign up and I can make a direct bonus of $400, $500. You know, what happened to Karen, of course? She got extremely grateful. She got extremely motivated. Now, I put them together on a call. I didn't even close the so-called deal. You know, I'm not want to think about sales, as you know, but eventually people need to make the commitment, right? So now for Diana to make the commitment was way easier after she talked to Karen, because Karen and me were on the phone. She knows already from me, Diana, that Healy is amazing. Now Karen told her opinion on her experience about Healy. And after this one, Diana was convinced. She bought the Healy under Karen. Now, what did I do? I gave Diana away from me to a team in Zurich, to Karen. Karen received the direct commission. I lost the direct commission. But in the long run, is the direct commission important or is it not important? I don't think it's important if I have a successful team establishing in Zurich who can work very, very well together. And believe it or not, they're working so well now together. It was so beautiful to see, right? So for me, it was not important to get the direct bonus and have her as my first level. I'm okay to have her on my third level or fourth level, but I have a team which is now shaping there for a long run. It's really beautiful to see, right? And this way, when we think that way, this is how we really can build long-term relationships and teams. Because first of all, they never forget. You know, they will be always grateful that you gave them the opportunity to work with somebody. And now, of course, Karen also gets a matching bonus. Diana has somebody to ask all the questions, somebody who's there in Zurich, in Switzerland for her, right? Which also means for me, I delegated the work, which is also beautiful, right? So Diana is not always calling me for everything. And maybe I'm different to other people, but I'm happy not to have 150 people in my first line. I'm happy not having, especially with a device like Healy, where we now in the beginning struggling, have people calling me all the time about, hey, my analysis app is not working and so forth, right? I'm happy to not have that. And at the same time, it's only bringing me positive effects. I have this team working together, they're happy together, and they're building a structure and organization. Now, I went to Zurich, and after Diana was there, for a week, and we had the first couple of meetings, and it was so beautiful. You know, the first meeting we were like 3-4 people, had one by one inviting. The next meeting we had like 6 or 7 people, and then we did some training. And this is actually what's really fulfilling if you help a small team start growing and building up the momentum. And then it feels like, okay, you started helping them with the momentum, and then you can just go away and go to the next team, you know. And this is like, it's such a beautiful thing what you want to do, and that needs to remind us we're doing teamwork, right? This is what we do. It's like we are here to build teams. We are here to support other people, to help them build their own teams. And then if we think that way, suddenly the whole business is not difficult anymore. Because we need to understand we are not alone. You guys are not alone. No one of you guys need to work whatsoever alone. Nothing. Because you have always somebody who's kind of benefiting from what you're doing. And you have always somebody who wants to support you. So what we need to learn is start working together and start to supporting each other. Let me just take a sip. So when you have your first 10, 20 people, now, I think this is first of all the most difficult part, I believe, in starting Healy is, you know, sharing the first 3 to 5 devices. I think this is the most difficult part in Healy. The second most difficult part then is after you have shared like a 10 devices, 20, no matter how many, to find more. You know, people often say like, who else do I know who want a Healy? Who else is resonating with that? Who else is an influential person who I can give the Healy to? And then we stop, you know, we struggle. We say, I don't know anybody. It's not about you. You know, it's not about you. Now we have to think, who of the people who have a Healy know people who resonate with Healy? This is what it's all about. And then we use the edification process. Same what I did with Diana and Karen. When I spoke to Diana about Karen, I spoke so highly about Karen. I told her about her daughter, and her daughter get the resonance and the analysis and so forth, and get the Bach flower remedies and so forth. It's working wonder on her. And I shared this and this about Karen and said, Karen is amazing. And when Diana jumped on the phone with Karen, Diana was already excited to meet Karen, you know? So what Karen just did is shared her experience, and this was a closed deal. Diana immediately bought after a Healy. Why? Because I edified Karen. And then Karen actually did all the work to make Diana buy a Healy. So it's a beautiful example of seeing like we not only need or can only edify our upline. So for example, Claire, you can edify Max. If you have, for example, your network marketing leader, you know, who wants to join a business, you say like, hey, like Max has an 80,000, you know, whatever is important for the network marketer, say a structure with 80,000 people, he has a check or a six-figure check or whatever is important, right? And you edify. When I come on the phone, the person will obviously feel good, maybe even honored to speak to me, and it will help you to make her the decision to get into Healy, right? So now you can edify to your upline, but you can also edify your downline if you want to create teams, and which I did. So to remember that we are not working alone on our purpose and our mission here is to really think about who of the people we brought into the business, who of the people who have Healy can we help and can we support to find more people. So let them reach out to their people and let them edify you so you can come into a three-way call and talk to them. And if, you know, Claire and me, we're sitting on a table and having lunch, and we talk about Healy, and Trace, you know, or Trace Stevens, is Trace your first name? Trace comes in and he doesn't have a Healy, right? And you and me, we talk about Healy. And we excited him and sharing our experience. I tell you, Trace, after this conversation, gets up and he wants to get a Healy. You know, because it's 100 times amplified energy if two people share the same experience and share the same passion than just one person. And this is, again, this is why we don't work alone. If you put somebody on the phone with Trace and Elizabeth, and they talking about the Healy and sharing their experience, and that person on the phone just listens, he wants to get a Healy. But if Elizabeth is on the phone alone with that person, try to convince, try to sell, try to do whatever, that person has a different feeling. You understand? So that's why it's so powerful to have these three-way calls to really bring people into the business, to really bring people and make them excited. Because we are in the energy business. And if you're excited, that person will feel excited. And if two people are excited, that person can't help. He's exploding for excitement. So really use these kind of things and just understand, don't ever work alone. Don't ever work alone. No matter who you think in your downline or you want to recruit somebody for your business, use your upline. Edify your upline. Start using and edifying your upline. And you don't even need to sponsor people directly or help them get sponsored. It can be also, you want to find somebody, recruit them and put them in your left leg. And you edify anyone from your left leg, anyone, because that person eventually will benefit from the volume. So you ask whoever is on the Marie, maybe, you know, you're on the left leg as well. And then Liz, you can ask Marie, hey, can you jump in on a call and share your experience to that person? That's it, you know, that's it. And this is what we call inviting. We're sharing something with somebody and then we invite them to a three-way call. And guess what? Even more powerful than a three-way call is a webinar like this. A webinar like this, not where everybody's listening, but where everybody's talking. Where we have, for example, what we discussed in the beginning list, when you have a Q&A, for example. Bring somebody in where your team is communicating about Healy. Talk about strategies, about business. Talk about the success, about business. Talk about the new experience and the testimonials of the Healy. Imagine you bring somebody new in and say like, hey, this is what I'm doing. You want to listen in? Or even one of the oldest, most useful advices to give somebody in network marketing is ask somebody for mentoring you, ask them for advice and say like, hey, look, I'm doing this business with Healy, you know, and we're having this question and answer call. Could you help me maybe? Share me your opinion because I value your opinion a lot. What do you think about this device and how we do business? Maybe you can come into the call. And if that person is in the call and we have 20 people discussing question, answer, sharing testimonials, experiences about Healy, what do you think will happen? That person most likely will get excited about it too. So if we can invite somebody, and that's why I really try to focus a lot when I talked in the beginning about your webinar and your consistency of meetings. It's like magic. It's like magic to invite people to this kind of stuff. Again, we're not selling, we're not convincing, we're inviting and we're sharing, you know, and then we can invite also to Facebook groups. We share YouTube videos. There we don't need to be a salesperson. You don't need to speak. You don't need to talk. You can be an introvert. You can be whoever you want to be. You can be a housewife. You can be a chef. You can be living your talent and your genius the way you are. You don't need to be a network marketer in order to be successful in the business when you know it's about sharing and inviting people. Because you invite somebody to something where somebody else speaks, you don't need to speak. And if you share a video, I think if you don't know how to share a YouTube video, then maybe the business is not for you. But if you do, then it's very easy. So I think this is really basically the most fundamental thing about this business. It's check your intention, have your intention right, so nothing can harm you. And I also like to say, if we already know, and I know you guys already know how good Healy is for so many people, and you have experienced how good is Healy for yourself, it's selfish. It's selfish if you not go out and share it to more people. Because why are we here for? What is this life about? It's like to, change and improve and make things a little bit better on this life, on this planet as it is already. So if we have an opportunity to make somebody's life better, then we should share it and go out and not be selfish and just keep it for ourselves. That's very obvious, right? So then you ask me, like, I don't even know how I became vice president. I also have no idea how I got 80,000 people. But I think one thing I know is I really take it serious and take it as my responsibility to share Healy as much as possible. So I'm going to talk every day, every night, all the time about Healy and invite people and share this message to as many people as possible. And then the strategy of who to place where, who, what to do, that comes later. I managed to come here without being extremely smart and knowing what to do, But my only intention, my energy, as you maybe know me, is like I'm always 110% excited because it just excites me. I love this so much. So your energy has to be excited. You got to be excited before you contact anybody. It's like that. If you come out of a call, and I said that in the beginning, where I'm frustrated, where I'm desperate, I need to recruit another person, so I'm going to go and talk to that person now in a place of desperation, he will feel that. Make sure you're going to be excited. So when you guys have your webinar, and your webinar next time, it's nice, and you have 3 new people on the webinar, and it's functioning, it's working, it's amazing, you're excited after the webinar. This is exactly the moment when you reach out to new people, because you have this excitement in you. So don't forget, we're in the energy business. Everything is energy. So people feel that. Whenever you talk to somebody about Healy, make sure you're excited about it. You don't need to be hyper like I am, but just be sincerely excited and love what you're doing, and people will feel that, right? People love to be part of this one. And next, don't forget, it's not a direct sale company. We're not directly selling. You don't need to step on anybody's doorstep, knock the door and say like, hey, we have this and this product. You want it or you don't want it. It's not what we do. All we do is teamwork. Don't forget, we are not alone. You are not alone. We are a team no matter what, And I give you another example. Me and Taryn, we're not even in the same organization. She's not even in my leg. And we worked the last 9 months consistently, almost every day together. And why did we do that? Because I know the more value we create, the more value can come back to us. And about Healy is the more people have Healy. And I know the difference today. That's why I say it's so easy, because I've seen it from the beginning when nobody had Healy. It was so difficult. Today it's so easy because the more people have Healy, the more people talk about Healy, the more experience are shared about Healy, the more people will find out about Healy, the more resources we will have for Healy, the more places where we have to invite people. So it's in my interest, no matter in what line you are, that you share as many Healys as possible, and you spread the message to as many people as possible, because it will become easier for other people to know about Healy. Very simple. So sharing is sharing and sharing. Have the intention of go out and really let everybody know about it, and make it to your duty and responsibility to talk about this. Make it like it's a mission to help this planet to become something better, to raise everybody's consciousness, and share Healy as much as possible. And until then, yeah, I think we can open for questions. I was talking way too long by myself. So, okay, does anybody have a question?
Hi, Max.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Right, so I accepted an online event tomorrow for a health and well-being event, and I only did it last night, and it's for tomorrow at 10 to 1. Would anybody like to jump on a Zoom with me tomorrow and create what Max has just said? Maybe anybody free tomorrow, and come on the Zoom with me, and we'll talk Healy and get share the love. Thanks, Max.
Awesome.
You've helped me.
That's so cool. Hey, so. Can you explain one more time what is this webinar about? Is it?
So I have 2 colleagues that hold events in the UK, but they do go out globally. And they've asked me and a lot of other people, obviously, to do their bit on whatever subject they want. And I've got a slot tomorrow for 20 minutes at 10 to 1. So it's where I can talk about anything to do with wellness, healing, or whatever I want to talk about. So just going off what you've said, I'm jumping at all these. I'm accepting things and I'm going for it. I haven't planned what I'm going to do, but now speaking to you, I need the team behind me. Yeah, and we'll all talk, whatever. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, that's so beautiful. So if some of you guys want to jump in there and maybe share their experiences, you know, I think that's amazing, because if you talk there by yourself, it's a different effect. And Liz, Henry, everybody else, whatever, who want to share their experiences with it, this will be such a beautiful effect. That would be such a good, but you gotta think. We've got your back. I love that. That would be. It's important when you have the 20 minutes that you maybe only start with the product and everything. You don't want to overwhelm people, because Healy is such an overwhelming product, and that's why we decided not to go with a company presentation, because it's 81 pages. You know, come on. And then it's like digital nutrition and the watch and whatever. Keep it simple. Keep it on the Healy in general, and make it like, hey, Tesla already explained it. If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of vibration, energy, and frequency, boom. And then you say, now we have a device which is able to tap into somebody's energy, and we have this and this experience. And then you go on for maybe you create 2 or 3 slides for that, not more. And then you should let Liz, for example, and whoever wants to jump on the call as well, share a little bit 2 minutes of their own experience and say, yes, we are now in the UK or whatever, and this is really revolutionizing everybody's wellness at the moment. And it's just amazing. And then don't forget to leave your how the people can reach out to you after, right? Before you jump off the call.
And it's really interesting, Max, because I got my first Healy in August, and I only had the Healy for 2 days, and then I gifted it to my mum. So I've not actually had a Healy in all of this time, but I am so passionate, like the rest of the girls are and the boys, and that's the passion. I want healthcare to be different, so I don't have one. So I hope everybody else will wear theirs. But yeah, thank you.
No, that's all. Hey, look, see, and that's Leah, for example. Leah, they didn't have a Healy in the first months and already sold over 100 Healys, right? Without having one, right? Because they got 100. Like, Leah is so amazing about certainty. Like, I look up to her about how certain she is and does things. And like the same what you're doing right now, it's certainty. You're so excited about this product, even if you tried it a little bit, but you know already, come on, you know, some people need a lot of proof. They need to experience it for 6 months. Some people see 150,000 people are happy with it, and that's enough proof, right? So is it for you? So if you have that excitement and passion, you can share Healy even without trying, without knowing, to 100 people like Leah did, right? This is energy. And I think this is why excitement is so important, right? That's why it's like, before anybody starts with Healy, educate yourself about this device and get excited. Because if you're not excited, if you don't believe in your own thing, what you're doing, you don't even need to go out and start doing it. That's simple it. But that's cool, Anita, man. When is it, tomorrow?
Yeah, Max. Yeah, 10
I
to
can't
1
wait.
tomorrow.
Send some update news in the group, and just use it for experience as well. You know, I think it's a cool idea. Jump into every opportunity you have. Share this device. Make it to your passion. Make it to your responsibility. Go out and share it to as many people as possible. And that's what you do. Get started. Love it.
Thank you.
Any other questions, talks, things you want to get off your soul? No? Anyone?
I will.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Well,
nice to meet you.
who starts? Katrina or Samantha?
Oh, Katrina can go.
Okay, Katrina. That was nice.
Thanks, Samantha. No, mine was more a question. So I literally signed up for my first Healy yesterday. So I'm a proper newbie. So my question, thank you. My question is more to pick on your experience. And if you could recall back to your first ever, when you first started, what would you recommend, or you wish that you know, or that you knew then? What would you say? One thing that you would do now, starting out, and one thing that you wouldn't do? Like, what would you not waste your time doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah. First of all, the most important thing is don't waste your time convincing people.
Yeah.
Like there are so many people who need this device. And amazingly enough is, I think, I'm sure many of you guys can, confirm that we manifested this device. Some of you guys without even knowing, like for sure, Anita, she manifested that device for herself as well. She knew already before that device is something for her, and there are so many people out there. So I would say never, ever, ever try to convince people. Of course, you educate them, right? And the number one most important thing for the beginning, I mean, besides writing down the list of the 10 people who will most resonate with the device, think about who needs it the most, and think about your people if you think about it, considering building business, think about who's your tribe, who's next to you, who are those people most influential in your space, have those people. And when you speak to them, be excited. If you not manage to be excited, do what I said before, ask them for advice. Because oftentimes when we start this business in any way, ask people for advice. Everybody loves to give their advice. They like to be important. They like to be significant. Ask them about this. Let them give you their opinion about Healy, about the business opportunity, about Evolve community, about whatever you would like them to ask. Then let them look into it. Say, hey, could you come with me on the next webinar? And see what these people are doing and let me know what you think about it. It's a beautiful approach for people to give you advice, first of all, and it's a beautiful way for people to get excited about the business without them knowing they're actually coming into the business. So that's my advice, because I know for some people, if you're not familiar with the product, you're not 100% educated, you haven't even tried it yet, maybe you're still getting it. Sometimes we take that time until it's delivered, we try it for 2-3 weeks, the momentum is already fading away. In order to not let this fade away, use the advice tactic. Get people engaged and ask them for advice, or just get yourself excited, and understand and know that there are so many people Healy has helped, and there's so many people Healy creates successful. Just be excited for this opportunity to come to you and share this already with people who you think about building a business with. Say, I just signed up for something, I'm waiting for my Healy, it's coming. Hey, aren't you interested in something like this as well? Should we build this together? So this is also an approach. Think about the approaches of the right intention, going in there, either help people or either partner with people and bring them the right opportunity. This is my advice for you.
I like that whole idea of building together. It's a nice way of putting it to people as well.
Yeah.
And the whole, I came in at the end, sorry, I was quite late. So I'll chat to Liz as well about the whole partnering up thing as well and catch up if that's all right, Liz.
Yeah, we're recording also. I think I'm going to share the recording after.
Okay, perfect. I'll do that then. Right, thank you very much, Max. I'll leave it over to you, love.
Welcome.
Hi.
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 So I've had my Healy since March. I've had my Healy since March. Oh, hang on, just 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry, the dog just opened the door. So I've had my Healy since March, and I've been using it. The one that I've got now, I actually had to send back. It's been returned. I had issues with it, so that was a bit of a spoke in the wheel. But Adi here has lent me another one, so I've got another one, and I've been using it. And at the start, I didn't, because I don't have any aches or pains or any ailments or anything like that. It was really quite difficult for me for when people said, what's your experience, to have this grand experience of it, although I could feel it was very subtle. I was having subtle differences in my life, and my sleep was better and stuff. Anyway, just recently I've because of my other businesses, I started to suffer from a bit of anxiety, and I was getting like really chesty and all of this, so I started using my Healy again. Using the Healy for this, and it cleared everything up. Like, I am so astounded at what it's done for me. Like, I cannot believe it. So my whole motivation has been reignited incredibly. But what I wanted to say was, you know, for me to get it, I've already done a few presentations, but in person, and we've had like 3 or 4 Healys there, and people have tried it, and people get excited when they can feel the machine, when they can feel it on them. And if we have them sitting down for an hour, you know, they get the whole experience. So for me, doing the webinars is all really fine, and I would like to sort of do a webinar for all of my friends and family who are over in Melbourne. I'm on the West Coast. I've got friends and family on the East Coast. But how do we get them the experience? I mean, we can get the excitement. I can talk about my own experience. I can talk about, we can all get in and share. But when they say, oh, well, we just want to try it, where is it? What do we do? In your experience, have you actually have you gifted people machines, or have you lent them or sent them in the mail, or what have you done for actual people that are not near you to experience it?
Okay.
Other than just talking about it on a webinar.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like, somebody experienced the Healy is a way different effect than somebody not experienced the Healy, right? Because you actually feel it, you have the physical sensation immediately. It's a really, really amazing effect. However, it's kind of a limiting belief we all have that people need to experience the Healy. I'm just giving you an example. Other network marketing companies who are coming with supplements, you know, and you drink the shake or you drink some powder yeah, you have a taste, or you swallow a pill or whatever. Do you feel an immediate effect? Usually don't. Usually don't. It's a long-term process. So it's on us that we believe that Healy has to be shown to people, because we know there's a physical effect, for people to have the buying decision made, which is not 100% true. Again, Leah sold over 100 Healys without even having an experience in Healy by herself. You know, so it's kind of a limiting belief. Yes, of course, it's stronger for somebody to use the Healy and experience the physical effect, but it's not necessary. It's really not necessary. And one perfect reason for letting them order anyway is the 14 days money back guarantee. You know, it's like, what do you have to risk? Jump into the webinar, come into the Healy Experience Group, read thousands of testimonials, listen to all the webinars you want, you know, jump in. We love this product. We're all excited. It helped you. Like, but basically your testimonial is wonderful. Your testimony is wonderful because it's so authentic that you said, like, you don't have really problems, but it gave you this amazing feeling and you slept better. Wow. You know, you bring yourself onto a presentation. This is a beautiful testimonial, which everybody can relate to, right? So just on the side. But that, yeah, that person that goes in, invite them to the Healy Experience Group, let them share everything what you have from all the other people, let them order the device and say, like, if you don't like it after 2 weeks, send it back, get your money back. That's, you know, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's our limiting belief. I want to say one more thing about limiting belief. And it's so much about the energy right now. It's crazy. Diana, the lady from the story, right? She also, when I first did a scan on her, and I took the picture, I recorded her vibration, I took the picture. She said, whoa, why do you need to take a picture for? Where is my picture ending up? And stuff like this. And started asking these questions what never anybody asked me before, right? I said, like, you know, the Healy needs to identify you better. You know, it's like, we need to be clear on the intention that it's you. And she was wondering. Now, funny enough is every time she went out, you know, and it's never happened to me. I had 100 plus 200 scans or whatever done with people. Every time she went out to do a scan on somebody, that person asked her, why do we need to take a picture? You know, it's a very interesting thing about her belief, always knowing, like, what is this picture? And she obviously, the other person there was some kind of sense that people always ask her the same question she was struggling about, right? So it's the same things you, Samantha, when you think, like, everybody needs to have a physical experience on the Healy before they make the buying decision. It's not necessarily true. If you believe it's true, it's probably true. So maybe you should think about what you want to believe about, because obviously other people have the experience of selling and sharing Healy without them trying it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I just have to sort of get in there and do the webinars and speak about my own experience. I mean, actually, from that experience of, like, feeling like I was going to have a heart attack for 2 weeks, like full on chest. I'd never experienced anxiety. I have a new respect for people with anxiety now. I never even thought, I used to think, well, you know, get over it. It should, you know, take a few breaths and you'll be fine. Now I have had that true experience of having anxiety. I was thinking to myself, perhaps just while we're doing this, perhaps we could do a webinar for people with anxiety. just focusing on that thing, saying, well, you know, if you suffer from anxiety, hop onto this webinar and then share experiences from there, you know, like sort of fine tuning it a bit or bringing people in with, I don't know, it's just an idea about that.
No, totally. And I love that. I mean, once again, like, this is the beautiful thing about the product. What we still need to realize is we're not limited to any target group. We have target groups. Everyone can use frequencies, no matter what they want to improve in their life, right? If you have people and anxiety is for you an honest, important topic, why not? Go out and help people with anxiety. I think it's a beautiful thing because nobody's doing that yet, right? So you can do that. You know, you can create whatever you want to do, Samantha, in this business. This is the beautiful thing. Anita.
Thank you, Max. Samantha, I was just going to say the same thing. As I said, I don't have a Healy, but all of my life, people around me, or myself included, I've always seen a lot of death in my life. And so when Liz introduced me to the Healy, we both knew about how we felt about helping people get well. And so I always do my webinars and go on events and things from the heart, saying about if you're suffering with anxiety, I actually say the words because I've been there, and also I then like give some cases of how that will, you know, like how that feeling is and that desperation. So I share the passion of health care and that, you know, I didn't get that help. And that's what I share it from the heart, and I talk about all of those things: anxiety, depression, pain, because I've always been in pain most of my life. So I come from it from that point of view. So you'll do brilliantly, you'll do really, really well because you've experienced a little bit of that anxiety too. So it'll be good. It will be good.
Thank you.
Can I say something, Max? I agree with the beliefs. I was talking to Liz this morning, and I've had a couple of people in a row who've both said, "Oh, it's MLM. I think that's MLM's really bad." And you know, who are you, a doctor, recommending something that you're going to benefit from? And I think that because I then got it in my head, I kept getting that response. So what you were just saying now about the girl who was saying, "Why are you taking a photo of me?" I think she's projecting. I think I'm projecting it. The other thing was to ask, with that question about having a group, but not letting people hold the Healy and try it. People do group sessions though, don't they? Can you, in a nutshell, give us a quick idea of how you would share that with people on a webinar, please?
Okay, so the question was, sorry, to get
the resonance to do something with the group remotely. Can you do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, that's actually a cool thing. What some people are doing is to use the resonance and scan the group on the webinar, right? And sometimes it depends. I have seen it a few times. I have never done it myself. You know, I never felt like I'm confident enough. It's also a limiting belief to do the group scan session because maybe it's also not what I do. But I've seen it many times that people just, share their screen and do the resonance analysis on the group and detect the aura or one of the frequencies, like all the frequencies in the Healy, or the Bach flower or whatever, and just go through and then just let them experience and see what the Healy can do. And then also, vibrate the intention into the group, which can give them an experience if they want to receive it. The only problem with that is, not a problem, it's also just a belief I have right now, but when we talk about a webinar in the beginning and you have prospects, people who want to make a buying decision in the beginning or see the Healy for the first time, to go into the resonance, in my experience, is deep. It's very, very deep, right? It's maybe too deep for some of the people to get in touch with Healy for the first time. So maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. I'm not sure if it's right or wrong to do so. But I think it's definitely a very powerful tool, especially when you do trainings among us in a group, for example, and you have people just joining in and seeing what's going on to get more curious about it, right? So, but how to exactly do that, I can't tell you. I would just do the resonance on a group the way I do it on myself and go for it.
My only worry with, and maybe I'm doing too much because I've got my resonance and I'm saying, oh, well, let's have a look at your auras, let's have a look at that, look, we can redo it, look how it's changed. And the thing that scares me most is when I check the aura and then we're looking into all the details and I'm sending them the PDF so they can read it when they've got more time. and then by mistake I press the heartbeat at the bottom, and I have to re-record their aura, and before we've done any vibration, it's changed. And I think, oh, I lose credibility on that, because how is it changed? We've not done anything. And I understand that the intention changes it.
Yes.
How do you explain that bit? Because they say, well, a minute ago it was that, we've not done anything, now it's that. How can you say this is accurate? It'll still be the same 3 that are the lowest. I've noticed that, but it changes.
Yes, I mean, the how I explain it, first of all, it's also about certainty, right? When you start like struggling and say like, oh shit, what just happened and whatever, like, yeah, it doesn't work anymore. It's the thing, you know, it's how we describe things. When we know, like, the more we work with Healy, the more we understand how important is intention. And when we do the same thing, but we have different intentions, it's going to be a different outcome every time, right? So, for example, like when I do frequency scans, what a good thing also to say is when you have programs, you know, and the programs come up, for example, for you come liver up away from the aura. You know, the aura, you have to explain them in a certain way that when the intention is changing, the result will change. It's the way it is, you know. For the frequency programs, when we do the analysis on the scans, and for example, something comes up with liver, you know, the way I explain it always when they say like, I have a clean liver, my liver is fine, no problem. I say, look, there's a medical advisory board who puts in 400 different frequencies into this program, which are all beneficial for your liver. What is your liver? It's an organ connected to all the other organs in your body, connected to the skin, to your blood, to everything, right? It means in this program, there are a lot of frequencies very relevant for you. If the program called liver or not, some human being called this program liver. But still in this program, it detects frequencies that are relevant for you, because oftentimes that's the question, you know, or there's like scarring or something like that. I don't have a scar, I don't have a wound support. I say like, but the frequencies in this program are very relevant for you. Only because it's the name wound support doesn't mean it's only wound support. Or allergy, right? What is allergy? Allergy can be dry eyes, headache, you know, stuffy nose, cough, whatever, something on the skin. So in that program, allergy is so general. There are some frequencies that are very relevant for you, you know, so there's always something we can explain. Again, we go back to be certain, just be certain in what you say, you know, because, hey, we can't control the quantum field, right? The quantum field is acausal. We never know what happens, right? But right now in this moment with the right intent, it's exactly what it needs to be.
Thank you very much.
This is, you know, I think this is just experience and doing it over and over and over and over again. And if I'm, you know, kind of know what I'm talking about, which I don't, then everybody can, you know, because I'm far away from being a therapist or a quantum physics or anybody who can actually talk about this, but it still works, you know, because I believe in it.
Max, I've just got a question, because I know there's lots of research in terms of kind of the effects it can have on anxiety, depression, kind of mental health stuff. Do we have access to any of that, or can we get hold of that? Because I know for some are kind of...
I can send you the literature.
Ah, perfect. Thank you, Liz.
And at the back of the manual, there's a list of the
studies, yeah.
studies, but I'll send it over to you.
Amazing.
Does anyone else need it? Well, Henny, we can put it on our units, can't we?
It's already, I think it's already in our Facebook group, the testimonials, I think. Not testimonials, the research papers.
Yeah, and I think it's also in the Facebook group on studies, when you type in studies and evolve, right? Studies.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
even
yeah.
EXP. But you also have to know, Marie, it's actually an interesting question right now. They're doing proper scientific research and studies on the Healy specifically in terms of brain waves. So I've already seen videos and pictures of how they analyze brain waves, and the effects are amazing. It's like the Healy brings the brain waves into the gamma state for a long period of time with the right frequencies. And then in the CASA, they're doing right now research about the cell membrane, and the next word after cell membrane I forgot. Potential. But it's a
cell membrane potential.
It has something to do with it, but there's a different word. Don't ask me about that word, but it's about the conductivity between the cell membranes, and it's increasing really amazingly by the smallest amount of microcurrents. So they're just proving that as well. I actually did the test on myself. They're doing it on 50 people or something like that, and it's really amazing. So they coming now with a lot of scientific research, right? This is actually for the brainwaves. They have a study in Australia with Bond University, if I'm not wrong, which goes over the next 2.5 months or so. So there's a lot of stuff now coming because we have amazing people now joining the business, and they're driving this one as well. So again, that's what I say, like the most difficult time in your life, sharing, selling, inviting people to Healy is now. Trust me, in a year from now, it's going to be so much easier. And 2 years from now, it's going to be way easier, but the opportunity is not the same. This is actually something really nice to say to people, you know, when people don't want to come in. It's like, okay, you know, you might not see so many things and studies and everything like this and whatever you require and wish right now. In 6 months or in a year from now, just wait, and you will come back in a year from now, but the opportunity is not the same anymore. Just wait for the studies to come, you know, and wait for the back office to work and all the good things and whatever. But the opportunity is not the same. So it's FOMO, right? FOMO is always very powerful to talk to people that they miss out a little bit. Anita, did you raise your hand again? Or was it a telomeres? I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I know the telomeres, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. You will find out in a month or so. Then the results will be open.
Max, can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
Regarding the UK classification, is it the same for medical class, the same as in Germany? Like, is the European classification for the device? Any idea?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I know UK is oftentimes different, but I'm not sure if it's different from the medical certificate we have in Germany and all over Europe. I guess, I can only guess, and I don't want to say anything wrong. I think it's a medical device, but I'm not sure. I can double check that for you better.
I think it will be good to know, because if you're going into a pre-launch, it will be good to know what we actually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. No, I'll find out. But I wouldn't say now because I'm not 100% sure.
I've just one more quick question as well, Max. I am having a chat with a friend of mine that I trained with in Germany tomorrow. What is the market like in Germany at the minute? Is there many advisors? Would she be better if she came on board? Would she be better be coming under me, or would I be better hooking her up with somebody over there? What would be the best thing to do?
Well, you're asking me if it's the best idea to bring her under you? Of course, it's the best idea to bring her under you if it's your contact.
Partnerships, is it better still to have somebody over in Germany? Does it work that she builds up her own team, or do we work? I'm not quite sure how that works.
Look, again, you are not alone, you know? So I think if you're not 100%, you introduce the idea to that person, right? You tell her also it's a medical device from Germany. It actually comes from Germany. It comes from a technology called time waiver, as you know. So that person can already do some research on time waiver. Then what I would do if I were you, because you don't have the Healy yet, edify somebody, as I said to you before, in your organization, in your upline. Let him know there is somebody you got the Healy from who has amazing experience with Healy. So why not put these people together on a 3-way call? It will help you a lot, because obviously you don't know yet too much about Healy because you also haven't experienced it all the way. So I think it's a good idea to connect that person to somebody who experienced it all the way and talk to, and because you want that person, of course, in your organization. He has to sign up with you. This is what you want. All right. And that's actually your step now to have a global business, because there's a German person, and that German person knows German people and Austrian people and Swiss people, right? So this is what you want. You want to think globally. So it's a beautiful thing. So
is there a way to hook her up with somebody over there so that she doesn't feel so isolated in the sort of UK part, so that she's got people over there to talk to, like a team? So I know she can build her own team, but how do you hook her up with after she's come under me, obviously?
I mean, what, like, to be honest, and also the reason why I came to Germany is it's funny. Germany, this is the market where it came from, but the German market there's so much more potential to do here. You know, we have a few teams here, there and there to make some cool webinars, which I'm happy to share to you guys, where she can come in and get some experience. But we don't have the community here. You know, we don't have Evolve here yet. So I'm here also to build now Germany Evolve, also Evolve with Healy, or Evolve, the new way of being Germany. So we have all the information in this group as well. So that will take a little bit of time, but we're getting it. So we have more information in German, you know. So, but you can always turn the things around. Like, it's actually a beautiful thing that we don't have so much information in Germany, because the market is still a blue ocean. It's still a virgin as well, right?
And I think she'd be a brilliant community builder. You know, I think she would be great over there with you guys. Okay, I might put her on to everything that you've said, all your webinars that you've said. All right,
For sure.
thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm bringing her into Evolve, into the community, let her be part of it. And she can also always reach out to us on Facebook and stuff like this. And if I have links, I share them to her, right? So there's no problem.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Cool, guys.
Also,
Yeah.
just ask one more thing. What other parts of Europe have opened? Have Scandinavia opened yet? Spain, France?
Yes, everything.
They're all open.
Europe is completely open.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, but again, like, it's so amazing. I mean, everything, including UK, is still a virgin. You know, it's like we have so much opportunity everywhere, because the company, they've been extremely good at producing and creating this product, but they haven't really been focusing on a market yet. You know, the previous CEO, he went into 40 markets, which is amazing, because we have 40 markets to play in, but which is also a total scattered focus, which is also amazing for us, because we have the opportunity to now focus, because we can focus everywhere if the country is open. Right, so everything is just at the beginning. You know, we always have to remember that we're just getting started. That's why it's so cool to have all these problems, because if we wouldn't have them, we would be also developed already, and we wouldn't have the same opportunity anymore, right? So it's really cool. So yeah, Marie, you can go everywhere. Europe is completely open for you.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, guys, I think we're over an hour already, but if I can also, if you have more questions, just shoot me.
Max, it's me again.
Yeah.
I was watching one of the webinars about Friday. I can't remember what it was called, Healy Friday or something, going on in Berlin. Because is that something we can join? So is it once a week that you get amazing people to come and talk about Healy?
Yeah, so that's the Frequency Friday. And we were actually planned to have the convention, right? The online convention. I was actually going to fly there, but they canceled because of Corona. We can't have enough people, like a certain amount of people in the room. So they made it an online event for the next 4 weeks. I think 3 events a day in different time zones. Everybody can participate. And it's also a great way to invite people, right? So the company will be there, Marcus will be there. Last time I criticized it a lot. And this time I will criticize it as well, because I think there's too much masculine energy, but this is my personal opinion in the calls, because they have a lot of guys, you know, and a lot of network marketer who are really into the business and not so much about the intention. I have the feeling, except Marcus, the founder, and so forth. So sometimes I think it's amazing to listen to some speakers. Sometimes I feel like, nah, they didn't understand exactly what we're doing yet. You know, it depends on who's talking there. So you better check the schedule of who's speaking there. And when you figure that out and you resonate with the speaker, bring your people and invite as many people as possible. You know, I will also inform you with Taryn about what are good Frequency Fridays to attend in, because some of the people I know it's like we still have, you know, it's okay, it's not a bad thing, you know. I love everybody and even the network marketers, but I think it's so important for a product like this that we have the right intention. It's not only about the money. And some people, of course, with a product like this, it's a unicorn, they see this amazing opportunity with making money, and some of them, they don't even use the product, they just see the opportunity. And this is not 100% aligned with what we're doing. I mean, it's still a way to get, you know, thousands of people get Healy and help with Healy, but if the people who distribute Healy don't know exactly what they're talking about and don't know exactly how we raise consciousness and stuff like that, then it's not aligned with our mission. I feel like this. So I wouldn't recommend some of the webinars to invite your people to, but we let you know which one is good.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because I've recommended people to look at some things and they say, but that's not about health. You know, what's that? And I'm thinking, oh no, I love for people to want, yeah, like you, the intention is that we want to support and help everybody. And as soon as you've got people who are in it completely just for the money, that it cheapens it, dumbs it down, and it's a way of separating us from that side of Healy. And I think somebody was Googling, negative comments about Healy. And I think, and of course, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, and there again, we are in energy, right? Intention. Everybody feels that. What's the intention of these guys sitting there? Is it, making money, or is it actually creating a beautiful impact on this planet? So yeah, no, we are informed of the Silver and Gold Circle every time when there's a webinar with the right speakers, and then you should attend there and also invite your people.
Where are those Frequency Friday webinars hosted? Are they on the Evolve page, or are they somewhere else?
There will be, yeah, there will be on the homepage, normally on tours, like on Global World Tour or whatever. And the first one will start on the 23rd of October. So next weekend, next Friday, and then from every Friday on it will go on. But you will get the messages, you will get newsletters, you'll probably get a video for that. But once again, let us scream them first, and we let you know then which one is good for you. Okay, just to make sure. So you're not getting the wrong idea suddenly about Healy.
Thanks.
Okay. Any more questions? Yeah, Anita, you unmuted yourself, and then again back.
I was going to say thanks, Max. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then I would say, Dave, that we still have things to talk about next time. Maybe we should stop here and talk about the things next time. If you want, if you don't have any more questions. If you have questions, we can also sit here for longer if you want. It's okay. No more questions. No more questions. Cool. Then I would say, hey, thank you so much for listening in today. And I hope to see you very soon. And
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Prepare the presentation. Taryn shared the presentation. Go down, download the presentation, make the best out of it. And start doing it.
I've just tried to download it, and it says you have to have permissions. So I don't know if she's done something a bit funny.
But Taryn at least had the intention to share it, I'll let her know. Okay, guys, you have a great evening or a great day wherever you are.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.